All right. Yay. Hi, LinkedIn, Facebook. We are live with Zack Scriven. If you guys don't know who he is, check him out, but not right now. Stalk him later because we're going to have a conversation. Hi, Zack.
Hey, Virgie. So I quit, for those of you guys that don't know, I quit my job just over a year and a half ago, my six-figure engineering job, to be a full-time LinkedIn content creator. And today I'm officially announcing that I'm packing up shop in California. I'm moving to Arizona, and I'm reinventing myself yet again to be a real estate agent. So that's what I want to talk about with you today. So
that is awesome. So guys, me and Zack were actually having a conversation literally like 10 minutes before, and it was a really good conversation. I was like, you know what? Do you want to go live? And he's like, yes, let's do it. So I just figured that's what this is all about. This is really live. I did not prep for this at all, other than just having a real conversation with somebody I organically, built a relationship with. And real estate. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
it's not like, I guess when you actually look at it, going from engineering into marketing was a bigger transition than kind of going from marketing video content. Obviously, I'm still going to heavily leverage that. Like, video is my thing. Yeah. Actually, my 3 pillars have never changed. Spending more time with my family, Mary, Zoe, and our daughter. Following my passion, like the skill set that God gave me, right? And then third, last but not least, like serve God, right? With those skills that He gave me, right? Be the best version of myself. And so I kind of felt like I got to this point where I kind of felt like I stagnated. Like I just kind of, I got over 10,000 followers just recently. I did a 1-month road trip, completely sponsored. I've been doing the Zack Scriven media, LinkedIn influencing, for about almost 2 years now. So it's like, okay, well, like what's next? How am I going to take it to that 10x income level, right? So like, I replaced my 6-figure income, but I don't want just a 6-figure income. I want a 7-figure income. I want,
That's that human in us that we need to keep progressing. So I get that. I've watched your growth because I too got on LinkedIn a year ago, really, really delving into personal branding and really understanding that and taking a step back from, really telling anybody about what it is I do and even trying to make a business out of it, really just trying to grow myself. So I've watched you grow, and it's really exciting to watch you grow because I'm a little bit, did I say a little bit older than you guys. But it's beautiful to watch but I want to talk about what you said because I feel that you're so young, and for you to be feeling stuck or anything like that because you built something so fast and then you kind of feel like you're at a plateau and what to do next. I don't think that's just you though. I think that's a lot of people I hear speaking about that same thing.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not afraid to share it, is because I do know that it is out there, right?
Yes.
I mean, from the outside, people may look at, my success on LinkedIn and be like, Zack, everything is amazing. It's like, well, no, because I'm still hungry, like, like, I'm not saying that I'm not grateful, and I'm not like, I obviously enjoy it, but I think Sam Lister even had a post about this like last week where he was saying that he's unfulfilled. Like he doesn't want to run a video agency. He wants to travel. So he's now going to be doing like a 50-state tour next year and potentially even going to all around the world. So it's like, all right,
It's growing. It's that growth. I even saw Quentin. He did a video that was profound. I love him. He resonates with me a lot. The way he speaks, the way he puts himself out there, but he's going through another growth. He had something that happened to him, and he's really just looking at things differently, and he's very vulnerable about it, and he comes out about it.
His brother passed away.
Yeah. That is something that would really shake the foundation of most people. And, when he said he was taking a break, I sent a message like, take that break. But when he came back to level up, to even grow, to embrace that. And I love that. You guys are so young. And I think we were just talking about this earlier, is that I quit my job too. I kind of did what you did at the same time, at the same age, but, a long time ago.
A couple years ago?
Yeah, a couple years ago times 10. But when I did it, being an entrepreneur back then was not sexy. It was not cool. It was not, you know, the thing that everyone's trying to do. Is basically you were just, you were an employee. You didn't have a job. So really, to embrace that, for me, it was really aligning yourself with something that you wanted to build for yourself. And even though me, 20 years later, I'm still doing it. What I meant to say is that you never truly know who you are. And I don't think that's something that you finally go, when I was younger, okay, I was your age, I used to think that if I got to a certain age, that then I would get the respect that I deserved, okay? Okay, and even as a realtor, okay, you getting into real estate as a realtor,
that's gonna be hard.
I don't know now because things are shifting, and we'll talk about that. But back then, before they embraced personal branding or even internet marketing, forget putting out video, just marketing on the internet, right? I didn't get a listing, and the reason why I got told is because I did not have enough gray hair.
What? Okay, so we got a couple comments.
Okay.
Ahmet says he has a question. He hasn't found a job in LinkedIn for a year, so we could talk about that.
Yes.
And then also Sean O'Toole said, "Hi, Zach, I'm a realtor. Let's talk. I would love to pick your brain about LinkedIn."
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Sean. This is a good place.
Yeah. So let's start with the first one. So finding a job on LinkedIn is more about building a personal connection with the people that are going to be hiring you, whether that's the recruiters or the CEO himself. Reach out to him and just build a relationship. That was how I got one of my, when I started working my parents' business,
right,
and I took over that business. When I wanted to go outside of that, like to just close that business down and start up, go work for another company, I just reached out to the CEO directly on LinkedIn, and I got an interview that way. Like, rather than just applying for the job, I just reached out to them.
You gotta think
I think
thinking outside the box, right?
Yeah.
You really, really did something that not everybody does. And I think that stands out. Yeah. You gotta stand out from all the noise. Things are done in a certain way. So that's very clever. Another person who puts out some really great content is Madeline Mann. I don't know if you watch it. Yes. Really
career growth.
Yes. It's funny is because I am not looking for a job. Like, I've always been an entrepreneur, right? Not looking for a job, but I find that her content speaks to me. And I'm like kind of scratching my head going, well, why is her content speaking to me? And I never ever put together a resume. Being on LinkedIn was the first time I actually put together everything I did. So I started putting out all this stuff that I did because I'm like a practitioner. And then she did a video while I was, thinking about it, saying jack of all trades. And when you do your resume, you want to be very, very focused, laser focused on what you want. And I got to thinking, I'm like, wow, that speaks to me in more than one way, not just for finding a job, but also with a personal brand. Also with building a business that you want to really embrace. You have to build that conviction. Yeah.
Like for me to say I'm going to be a real estate agent is not like just something I toss around, you guys. So, think about that for a second. If you guys had not seen, I posted a video the day I quit my 6-figure engineering job, like the one I got on LinkedIn. At that point it was already solidified, but at this point, like I don't have my license yet. I'm in the process of getting it. I've started to take the online courses, and I'm projected to be done like this month. I'm going through it like at a faster pace than the lady had ever seen. She called me. I did a 5-day free trial. She called me. She's like, you're further along than I've seen anyone. Like
you're driven.
There's a maximum of 10 hours per day that you can do. So it's a 90-hour course for Arizona, because I'm moving to Arizona because like I want to just start over. You know what I'm saying? Like
Fresh.
California, like it's just expensive. I just feel like I'm not getting quite ahead. And also from the, like you said, the positioning standpoint.
Yes,
a lot of people know me. A lot of people like me. They know I do great video, but they don't know exactly how they can pay me. They don't know how to hire. You know what I'm saying?
But have you asked? But have you asked?
I don't even know, Virgie.
See, and
I don't like it. So that's why the real estate thing came to mind. Is like, here's something I enjoy. I'm a real estate investor, so it'd be a good skill to have. And it's also something that very easily someone could be like, oh, Zach's a real estate agent in Arizona. Zach's the guy. Zach's my real estate connection in Arizona. If I need to buy or sell a house, boom, it's easy. Like I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think I was like trying to reinvent the wheel and try to come up with like the Industry 4.0 road trip, like bless its heart, it's not a sustainable thing to do. Like just to do road trips and sponsors and documentaries, like that's a one-time project.
I know you've got a family that you're trying to balance. And, you know, the thing is like we all have those same struggles, and it doesn't matter at what age, you know, whether you're old or whether you're young. You know, what's funny is me having my kids is actually, I had kids later on in life, it's actually made me more safe.
Yes, Kyle, so you said having kids is making you more safe?
Yes, I used to be such a risk taker, but now I feel like
I'm the opposite.
Really?
Having my daughter kick my ass into gear, because I'm like, and I was listening to Grant Cardone today, and he said one of his mom's biggest mistake was his mom was living for her 5 kids and not living for herself.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I know it sounds selfish, right?
No.
But it's like, it resonated with me because I'm like, if I can't live out my dreams and show Zoe that it's possible, then what am I really doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting by. And I don't want to get by. I want to thrive, you know?
You cannot serve others until you are in a position to really, really help those around you. You know, like I have a need to contribute and to help my family. It's funny because here we're at 2 different ages. You having a kid really pushed you. So I came from a different, I never knew I wanted to be a mom, honestly. And I'm saying that because I was always an entrepreneur. I was always busy and always working. I didn't know if I would be a good mom, so I was scared. So when I finally had kids, it was like, maybe it has something to do with childhood stuff. You know, people go back, but that was hard for me. So when I finally became a mom, whoa, like I had the purpose that I felt like I didn't have before when I was younger. It really changed everything for me. But as I kept taking my risks, I felt like having kids, I had to be less selfish. So I was giving so much to them that I lost a piece of me a little bit. And then as they got probably about 2 or 3, I really started finding myself again and really embracing what it is that I wanted. And much like what you said, but as an entrepreneur, I never had like a safe place. I always start these businesses, and the more things that they would fail or not do well, I felt those failures a little bit more than I used to. So then I started getting more careful about what I was doing. And that's where I got stuck, and that stopped me. And that's where I had this growth where I had to be like, Virge, I started pushing everybody around me. And then I realized I needed to push that in myself. And that's where personal branding really, really opened me up. And that's so huge. So you're not being selfish. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Embracing that.
I know, because in 10 years, when I have a portfolio of $10 million in real estate, then, you know, that's a much better situation. And I could go to my daughter's soccer games or whatever than me having to bust out, you know, 40, 50 hours a week at a job that's just barely paying the rent. I mean, come on.
It's
true.
So. But real estate is hard, though.
Yes, I know. I know it's going to be hard.
It's not hard, but what I will have to tell you,
let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about real estate.
Where I see a really great alignment with you and real estate is you're doing video. And there's a whole community of realtors. I'm actually going to be going live with Noelle Nielsen. This group of people create crazy videos, like videos that you wouldn't even think realtors are recreating right now, because they're basically trying to break up that noise, you know, that's in Facebook and all those feeds, all that noise. Like right now, agents have to rely on Zillow to get their leads. And the problem is that a lot of the old school realtors, they're going to be in for an awakening, okay? Because Zillow now controls all their marketing. They now can decide at any point, we're now the big brokerage. We now want to do 50-50 split with all you agents. That's really scary, because you now are no longer an entrepreneur running your own business. You are now kind of like a slave, or, you know, to whatever they're offering you. You'll just take it. If you are doing video and you're really creating that personal brand,
I own all the leverage.
Yes.
So you guys, new season, 7-figure listing. The first city is called. I'm dead serious. I own the URL.
I do not doubt that, Zach. I do not doubt that.
So Dude, I can't wait to meet my first client and help them list their 7-figure listing and get them above market value, even in a market it's a bit of a buyer's market right now. A lot of inventory in Phoenix. Like average house is like 50, 60, 100, 200 days, especially in that high tier. Like there's over 1,000 listings just from 1 to 2 million. And then from 1 to 10, Zillow, it's just like, there's too many. And I'm like, wow,
Zach, I'm impressed.
So if you have a $1 to $10 million house, how are you gonna set yourself apart? You're gonna work with me,
Video.
And maybe no one's in the market to buy a house in Phoenix or sell a house in Phoenix, but I imagine they're gonna want to watch my videos because they're gonna be entertaining. They're gonna be geared to entertain. I mean, I'm an entertainer. I'm an influencer. That's what I do. Enthusiasm sells, right? So I just need to bring that. I didn't bring my true self to the world. I need to show up, and then it's gonna sell itself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be hard. I'm excited that I'm actually getting it out, and I think that even from the obviously watching Property Brothers and Chip and Gain and stuff, HGTV, like everyone loves that stuff, right? So it is appealing from that perspective, but then from the meta perspective of saying, hey, look, I followed Zack and I watched him go from engineer to marketer to real estate agent to real estate investor to who knows what I'll do next. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the transformation. Like, don't be afraid to redefine yourself or take a risk.
That's what it is, though. That's what it is you're always redefining yourself and always taking that risk. So Zack, you can't go into this this whole did we lose connection?
Are you still there? No,
okay. All right. I thought I lost connection. So you can't go into this whole real estate thing without me not being a part of this journey, because I am super excited to watch your growth. I mean, just with that passion and that conviction. We're on Facebook here too. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Mark Guy with says his in-laws might need to sell their home in Fountain Hills and want to buy between 1 and 2 million. Honestly, whoever gets the first listing, they're getting a really good deal because they're getting season 1, episode 1. So,
I want to be on that season. So I've got Westlake Village over here in California. So if you want to list any of your homes over here, I got you over here. Me and Zack are going to be.
So do you think I should eventually? Because I've heard California is right up there with New York as far as the real estate's dream.
Oh yeah.
I know.
You made it here. You made it here.
So I think here's the plan. I want to come back to California. I love California. Yes. Arizona is my family's there. My mom's there.
Right.
So it's going to be nice with Zoe and stuff. It's going to be a little bit more affordable to help us save up that down payment for our second investment property. Maybe it's a live-in flip. I don't quite know yet, but I know that Arizona is going to be.
Make sure it's all about investment. You're not buying your dream home. And I think you're on the right path, Zack. You are definitely got it.
Yeah, because Arizona is better for, I think, real estate investing.
For sure. Chelsea's in Arizona. I just did a Chelsea Heights. She's in Arizona. I've got so many amazing people to connect you with, Zack. You have no idea. You are very, very.
I'm really excited.
So I have a question for you, Zack.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think of it like that. This is one of those things when people say I consider myself an influencer, I think I had this awakening that I realized that the way things that are going, technology, is if I don't start building my brand and start getting my name out there, then I'm going to be financially invalid. I'm going to be not able to produce and provide for my family. So I'm I need to start building my brand. I need to be an influencer. An influencer is the model, right? So it's get it out there, right? So
influencer or even the authority, embracing the fact that and building that community of people that know and and trust you, because it doesn't matter what you do in your life, because you're very young. You said, who knows what Zack's going to do, right?
Right. Grant started when he was 50 or something. He's 61 now, and he has over 1.4 billion assets under management.
It's crazy. So what?
I just bought his book, Sell or Be Sold, right? So that's just that's it. You're either buying something or you're selling something. So which are you going to be a consumer or are you going to be an investor? So sales drives the world, and that's what I realized. So it's boom.
But you know what else does? Is passive income. is building up a way to create passive income. And that's something that I'm very huge on. And it's also about building wealth. You want to diversify. You want to have a bunch of little things in different pockets so that you can actually, you know, because actually with real estate, I know a lot of realtors right now are a little bit scared because they think that there's a recession coming soon. You know, so basically having that entrepreneurial mindset and understanding marketing and understanding internet marketing, these skills you can use for everything. You know, and that's why I embrace.
Look, that's why I'm not afraid to be a real estate agent, because I know that with my network, with my video skills, with my on-camera skills, like those tools I can apply to an industry and set myself apart. So it was all just a learning experience.
You're going to grow so much through this. Every day in the doing you grow. It makes sense. It's a really good alignment. So I have some more questions, and I know I bombarded you because we didn't know we were going to do this, but I want to kind of keep a pattern going. I asked Chelsea these questions too. So when you first got started, Zach, what was your biggest struggle with personal branding? What was the hardest thing for you to do? I kind of saw you just jump in with both.
Believe in myself.
Did you have any imposter syndrome or anything like that, like people are talking about?
No, the imposter syndrome wasn't as much of a deal. It was more so the belief that I could get what I wanted through putting in that work, even though it seems unlikely.
So did you have limiting like beliefs or thoughts at that time? Like, who are you?
I mean, yeah, who doesn't? You
know?
Who
does? No, I absolutely do. But just trying to deep into like, what were those and how did you overcome that? Because from the outside, it really looked like you just dived in.
It's pretty simple. Okay, so like, let's imagine you're watching your favorite YouTuber.
Yes.
Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a favorite YouTuber. Okay, right now I'm watching a lot of Shay. I read a lot.
Let's use Shay. This is LinkedIn. Let's use Shay an example.
All right,
so
Shay,
you're out there. Maybe you're watching this on a replay or live. You have 500 to 1,000 connections. Are you going to sit there and be like, oh, I'll never get to 100,000 followers like Shay is? And you're just going to keep watching her videos? Or are you going to watch one of her videos, get inspired, and then go out and then do it yourself? The choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
believing that you could do it rather than just sitting back passively, just watching other people succeed is where I was like, all right, no, that's it. Like for me, it was like Casey Neistat at the time, or just other large YouTube. Like I follow a lot of like cinematic type of content and a lot of tech content. And it's just like, why can't that be me? Exactly. Why am I going to sit there and watch these other people live their dream, but me not execute it on my own? When they're sitting there telling you, hey, I started at 0 too. You guys just got to start. Like they're telling you how.
They're telling you how they did it, what they did.
It's like, all right, well, let me just prove them wrong or prove them right. And I guess they were right. So.
That's awesome. I absolutely do. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
It's a mindset.
That's what I wanted to get at. It's mindset. It's because imposter syndrome. You know, I heard people talk about it, and the thing is whenever you're doing something new, it's going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to feel like, yeah, I don't quite get this until you own it. And then when you own it, you boss it up, and then you build that conviction. So you're always going to go through that, and leaning into that strong like you did is the way how we got through it. So
what are the okay, sorry, you're the one doing
it. No, you can ask me questions. No, let's go. No, you're usually in this.
What do you use for CRM to follow up? Like what do you use in your software stack?
Okay,
so the EXP stuff or?
Okay, so EXP has their own stuff. I use Follow Up Boss for all my real estate, but honestly, as an entrepreneur, I've been using ClickFunnels. And I'm actually using for real estate too. So because you can actually use a third-party system, it works with Follow Up Boss. It's beautiful. So me, I'm a little bit different than most realtors. And this is something you might want to think about too, is I have a bunch of different domains. And for me, I was working on WordPress. And if I wanted to build a membership site, I had to do S2 member. Then I had to put in a third-party system for payment gateway. So I was looking for a way to scale, because it's no longer as a time where I'm making my money building websites for people. I mean,
It's operating the website.
It's operating the website. It's understanding the strategy behind it and how to get those leads and build those conversions. Because honestly, you don't need to be, segmenting your funnels and stuff until you really get to a certain amount of traffic. But building, and people are like, well, Virgie, you can build it with, G forms or lead pages, or I can have so many free ways. Yes, there are a lot of cheap ways, but the way I look at ClickFunnels for me,
the conversion rate is higher.
It's not only conversion rate is higher, but if you want to build to scale, okay, think about this way. If you want to build something to scale, you need to build it in a house that has a foundation that can sustain it, okay? So if you're building on all these free platforms and then you actually start having something that gets traction and then you want to scale it, it's very, very hard to take a members database and switch it to a whole other platform, because you got to take your members, move them to it, have them re-opt in. Then you have to have a members database that was managed here. Then you have to log into the Stripe account. It's basically just having that strategy from the beginning, going, yes, I'm going to lean in strong. It's going to be one of these businesses. You can even line yourself up with ClickFunnels to provide that service for other businesses.
Does it do email marketing too?
Yes. Oh my gosh, Zack, literally, I'll show you, I'll do videos on it. And basically, you can create your entire funnel. You can create an entire website within the funnel system, just understanding how to hack, work these hacks within ClickFunnels. You can actually create a members area. You can create an affiliate system that's integrated. So you can actually create a system, charge I'm going to charge $150, but then you go to all your friends and say, hey guys, if you refer this link to your friends and family, you can get 20% or 50% of whatever. So this is a way for people it's affiliate marketing. It's share. It's a way to scale organically. So me, that's what I think about whenever I do anything, any business model. So I'm running my real estate funnels through there. I'm actually running a course for realtors to also help them with personal branding and embrace the video content. I mean, we might even be able to put a course together on just the teaching people how to create videos, you know what I mean? Or even a package could even be a meetup where we do a weekend where we help people build their profile videos and their first videos to get them started.
Yeah, LinkedIn is still going to be kind of the primary thing as far as my branding, and that's where we're going to get majority of my leads from. And we're going to do things like you said, like workshops.
Yes.
And I'll help people, train them on LinkedIn, and then they'll just look at my profile, just happy to see that I'm a realtor, and they'll just make that connection.
They'll make that connection by bringing the value, the things that you are aligned with, that you love. So a lot of realtors right now are not focusing on just delivering the real estate content. They're not going, hey, they're really just going, hi, I'm drinking this today. I took my kids to school and stressed out about this. They're having conversations. They're staying top of mind.
I could probably become a real estate agent and not really change much about
that's what I'm saying. And understanding the tactics of it.
Brian, what's up, man? Brian, we're talking about, I decided to become a real estate agent. I'm about halfway through with my certification, and I'm moving me and my family, we're moving to Arizona, and I'm basically starting a new career, still leveraging LinkedIn, still the LinkedIn influencer, but it's almost like a project. It's something I'm really excited about. I've always had a passion in real estate investing. And I was just like, this seems like a great idea to monetize my skill set and kind of just break into something new. So
that's what it's about. Jim Carmichael says, the nice thing about real estate is there's multiple ways to make money, but being an agent will get boring. I guess it can.
Yeah. So what's the natural progression? Like you become an agent, then you're like, all right, well, now I need a few VAs. And then you're like, well, now I need another agent to help me show listings. And then you're like, well, why don't I become a broker and then have a bunch of what is?
We want to know the traditional growth. I mean, really, you're going to figure that out. Like, what do you want out of your real estate experience? Do you want to be in a brick and mortar brokerage, or do you just want to embrace everything you're embracing, not change anything about what you're doing, but really add real estate into that?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I don't think I want to be a broker. Okay. I think it's a little bit too nuanced, like as far as detail oriented. That's not me. I could probably do that, but then it's like I don't want to necessarily run a brokerage business. I just want to have my personal brand. So
So
And
for
this
me,
is why I was like, I don't want to sell real estate video, because like if I'm going to put the effort into making a dope ass real estate video, I want the upside. I don't want to just charge like 500 or $1,000. Like I want the 10, 20, 30,000, dollar commission, because that's the value that I know I'm bringing,
now, if you did the other thing, you would turn your passion into a job. And then once you turn your passion into a job, it becomes something that you're not that excited about. So very smart that you didn't do that. So for you, what I would, God, there's so many. I just recently made a switch. Okay, so for me, I was always.
Are you still doing real estate, or
yes.
you just went to now you're a broker?
I'm a broker. I sold 2 properties. Even if you're a broker, brokers are still selling real estate. So let me explain my journey. So I told you why I got into real estate. I bought my property at the wrong time, and I wanted to make sure that I never made that mistake again, because I was a Forex trader. I shouldn't have bought my dream home. Okay, so I got in to understand the investing side, and my very first real estate deal, this was back in 2013, was a strategic short sale for an attorney friend of mine. And, everybody was doing short sales at that time. And then I helped him out. He was very grateful. And then he gave me my first referral, which was a probate. And I took that to my Century 21 office. And I remember my broker was like, probate, we haven't seen one of these in 20 years. I'm like, why? What's wrong with a probate? He's like, well, there's just a lot of a lot of stuff. I just haven't done one in so long. I don't know that I could help you with it. So then I went, much like you, I have that. I dove right in. I figured I was going to learn everything there was to know about probate and be the expert. And
so give us the rundown on probate. I just Googled it, but it's not.
Okay, so let's say like you have a property, and your family has a property, and your mother or father passed away, and they did not put the property into a trust. That would go into probate. Okay, and there's a few ways that you can go about it. And usually the court takes it over. If you don't let the courts take it over, which is really, really bad, if you're in this situation, please do reach out to me. I can put you in the right places. But you want to be in a situation where you have an attorney helping you out the situation. A lot of people don't realize that they are going to need to sell the property. The first thing people want to do is hold on to that property, because it's a very emotional process. So for me, it was something that I was really good at it. And the reason why is because it was such a personal process. I got to help people. I got to connect with people. I have this way of being able to take a very tough situation, very complex, and probate. Sometimes people are fighting and not very happy and in a lot of emotional state, but be able to take that stress and keep it moving forward in a positive way, like kind of getting either families to maybe find a way to talk to each other, or if not, just kind of just moving forward, understanding the business side of it and trying to take the emotion out of it. So I was really good at that,
Yeah.
And I fell into it and I made it my thing. And then I told my husband and my partner, because he was a geek, and I was like, how do we get more of these leads? And, because I sold a property that was $1 million property. I sold a property that was $300,000, but it was a probate. I worked just as hard on both. And at the end of selling those properties,
was the original family able to get the proceeds, or did they go to the government?
No. The way that works through probate, it actually does go to the families, but they got to pay all their debts and stuff. And if they do, honestly, if the best thing you are doing is not be in a probate situation.
Right.
If you want to put everything into a trust. If you do find yourself in that situation, it can be extremely stressful. Usually a lot of administrators and executors, they've never even sold a property or even had a property. So they're like, oh my gosh, now they're in this like really, really, they're like, oh my God, now I'm in charge of this whole estate. What do I do now? So being able to offer value and education to those individuals, I got a lot of gratitude out.
So you started focusing on helping people with probates, or?
Yeah, no, really focusing, so much so that I even had my partner really data mine, and he was scraping probate and trust leads from all the courthouses in California. So we were actually pulled so many leads, like 5,000 leads for probates and trusts. before Rebuild Gateway, like we were getting them really fast. And then my husband, we sat down with our attorney friend and we really developed a system on strategy. We created a course on how to take these leads and how to convert them, because there was a whole process on how to do it, you know? So we created a course. It was Probate Resource Academy. And then at that time I was a realtor, an agent, okay? And I was
at Century 21.
Century 21. So I was referring these leads out, okay, at 80-20 split. So it was doing good. I was selling the course at $300 and I was doing the leads at 80-20 split. But then my husband was like, you need to be a broker. I'm like, oh, that's going to be way too much responsibility. It was, I can't do that. I was very uncomfortable, but we were doing well. And I was like, I can't split 80-20 anymore. I tried to get 90-10. And then finally I did the work, became a broker. And then with all these leads, I decided to start 100% commission brokerage. I did so much stuff. It's crazy.
Well,
yes,
how do you make money? Flat fees?
Okay, so think of this entrepreneur mindset, right? So now I have all these leads, right? At 80-20 split. Well, now I have this brokerage. I have
when you say you have the leads at 80-20 split, you're making the 80% if it sales and the broker's making?
I would no. So if I have this lead, okay, if I have a lead and I refer it to an agent, okay, the agent
they give you a 20% commission of their commission.
20% commission, exactly. Now, if I could create a better situation out of that, the only way to do that was for me to have my own brokerage. Okay. So my idea at this time is,
and then you could have a cooperating brokerage agreement or something like that.
No, I'm away from Century 21 completely. I actually started my own independent brokerage now. Okay. Started a company. I'm an independent brokerage now. I need now to recruit agents to my brokerage, because otherwise it's just me in my brokerage. It's just me. Right. So you need other agents. What was my incentive for these agents? At that time, everybody wanted leads, make more money, the technology behind it. So that's what I offered, and the training. I'm in Westlake Village. Okay, the 100% commission model at that time might have worked a little better in Middle America, but in Westlake Village, where commissions were like $30,000, people just wanted, what more can you give me? So I kind of missed the boat there. But I thought
say that again. Say that again.
Okay, so the 100% commission model is really something that took off now. But when I started in 2016, it wasn't something that was resonating with people in the Westlake Village area. And I couldn't understand why, because I was seeing this model work in, like, you know, Texas or...
Because the house prices are too high here?
I think the house prices were so high and the commissions were so high that people were making a really good percentage. So they saw when they were giving 20% to their brokerage, they still made a fat commission. Even though they could have made a lot more, they were just comfortable. Okay.
Right. Like the difference between like 26,000 and 30,000 is like, oh, not that big of a deal.
Right. But the difference between, you're talking $8,000 and someone's coming in and taking 20-30% of that, you feel that more, you know, because it's all perspective, you know. So I was trying to understand that. So that was my model. And so, but my model with the 100% commission model, this was what I thought my genius was behind, is I had all those leads. So if I have those leads and I now give these leads to my agents, okay, so if anything they bring, 100%. Anything I give them, I now can go to 80-20. If I have a lead that I actually cultivate and actually convert, I can now take that lead and do it 50-50. So this, you see, so now where I only could...
So they just get the listing for free, essentially.
At 50-50, they would pretty much, they would have to do the work, because once you get the listing, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
They would put the listing, meet with clients, market it. So that was it. And everything, the agents were fine with that because they wanted you to do that work. This is the problem I had at that time, is I had all these leads, but none of the agents were actually utilizing the leads. At this time, I was trying to push. Were they trying to mind their own leads, or they were just?
No, it's just that it was too much work.
Right.
They really wanted the work.
I found the same thing with video content. Is when I'll do a piece of, you know, you're familiar with pillar content, micro content, like the Gary Vee content model. If you just give someone a Gary Vee, like if you give them a piece of pillar content, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do anything with it. Like like they may not even post it to their own YouTube channel unless you're managing it for them. But like, let's say they post it to their YouTube channel.
Right.
Like, that's what I started to realize. It's like, they're not getting the full value. So it's almost like on me, the onus is on me to communicate to them that either like it's part of the package. Like if we do the macro piece of content, the price for that is also including creating the micro content, because otherwise that's just like free money left on the table. But it's just like, they just don't want to do it. You know, you just gotta like.
It's true. And that's why, you know, when we talk about value and giving value and people being, hold on, my internal temperature is getting high on the camera, I think, Ezio. Zach, I think I might have lost you. My internal temperature on something. Guys, it looks like me and Zach's conversation went really, really good. But it looks like I lost him, and it sucks really bad because we're having a great conversation. Let me go ahead and see if he can sign back in, Zach. I'm going to try and see if I can get you to sign back in, because we were talking about Zach.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, there you are.
It's still a little warm, but I was trying to switch over to just my laptop camera, but I can't figure out how to do that in Switcher Studio.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So Mark was from Switcher Studio, I guess.
How does he do that?
Mark Gowith. Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to before we could wrap up value, and what you just said was really, really brilliant. Because people are so afraid of like, oh, what if I give them all my secret sauce? What if I tell them everything? I'm like, do it. Yeah. Do it, because they probably won't do it. And who does do it is going to be very, very grateful to you. They really will. Because
from your side, to bring it back to the real estate thing, is like you converted the lead and then you got 50-50, and they were happy to take that, because then it's like you did all the work for them.
Yes, but it didn't make sense for me because it was a lot of work. So really,
then you're like, well, why am I getting 50 when I should just get 80 or 100%?
So it wasn't sustainable. And at that time, nobody was really embracing personal branding. I was doing meetups and I was pumping everybody up. I was like, get your videos out there, go do there. And then I realized, whoa, I need to start practicing what I preach. And you're going back it out. I need to practice what I preach. And I need to stop pushing others and push myself and lead by example. And once I started doing that, I really got in alignment with who I was. And that, I think, is what keeps you going. Even though you're in a slump and you're overthinking it, that is the thing that keeps me driven, is because it's this internal passion, this need for me to want to be heard, to give back, to contribute, whatever it is. That's what I'm leaning strong into. And like having conversations with you and like this, like live was very difficult for me, like hard. Like if you
wouldn't be able to tell.
Oh, you should just go back in a little while ago when I'm like, the live was like up my nose. I'm like, is this thing on? But I just kept doing it.
I think it'd be interesting to see. Okay, so I have a question. Actually, if there's any questions from the audience.
Let's see.
You guys shoot. But
let's see.
Let's like kind of go through a hypothetical scenario, or a real world scenario here in a month or so. I just got my license. I'm brand new real estate agent, no listings, no leads. Well, even though that's not true, I have one lead right here, but let's say to follow up on the leads. Okay. So like, what do I do day one? Like, what do? You start cold calling? Do you start going out and knocking?
Okay. I've never door knocked. Okay, so there's old school traditional models that I will not say they don't work. They definitely work. If you can get behind them and you can embrace them and you do the work, they will work. Okay.
I would only go door knocking if it was like under the premise to obviously get a lead, but like to film it and make a vlog at, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does this work? Let's see, how many houses do we have to knock on before I get one person to even talk to me, you know?
That is a beautiful way to do something. And that is a way to do something for yourself, for personal growth. And then it takes oh gosh, I'm gonna go. I
need to be told no 1,000 times, you know?
We all do. And you know what I used to tell somebody? I used to say, you know what? Hey, I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to tell me no. I want you to give me every no you have. You want to know why? because I will find a way to turn it into a yes. But I can't do that until I know all the no's. So embracing the no's. I love that. It's so true. It's so
okay.
true.
So
embrace yourself, do what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And I actually would go to other agents that actually have these $1 million listings, these big giant listings that you have, and make friendships with them. Because why? Okay. You can bring them their buyer. And maybe they can't do what you do, and you're not going to go to them and say, hey, will you pay me to do this for you? Like, no.
I'll do a free video for you.
I would like to create a video, not even for you, for this property. Why? Because I want to bring you your buyer. She's going to be like, Zach, bring me my buyer. Okay. That's honestly, you will not. Come to me
because if I bring the buyer, then
the buyer, the agent doesn't come. The agent has to pay a commission to somebody. She's going to pay. The listing agent pays a commission to the buyer's agent, regardless.
Unless they represent.
Unless she represents both sides. Okay, but an agent.
Is that not very common?
Well, okay, so no, I actually double dip a lot. Because I do probate, I usually manage both sides because I'm usually working with investors. But in traditional listings where you have like $1 million listing, unless that listing agent has a huge database or has a buyer for it, she really, I mean, that's what the MLS for. The MLS is you put that listing on there and you're basically saying, agents and brokers, I'm offering you 2.5% of my property. Bring me a buyer.
Do you think it's better to focus on like listings or representing buyers, or
both? You need to hedge. And everything I do in life now is always thinking about hedging. You're thinking about the micro and the macro.
How do you qualify a buyer? Let's say someone's on LinkedIn and they live in it. I imagine a lot of my buyers would be like coming from out of state, because it's like my own journey. Like, all right, I moved to Arizona. You know, they want to come to Arizona.
You should do that, but you should also be doing hyper-local stuff. You should be going out to the restaurants. You should be going, hey, we're at such and such restaurant. If you're in this area, you should be highlighting the town, the neighborhood, the parks, the schools. Right.
So then when someone searches like good schools in Gilbert, Arizona, then...
Yeah, you go lives. There's an agent, Seven Murdoch, young girl. Oh, is she in Colorado? I think she's Colorado. Young, and you know what she goes on? She just goes on and talks to her people like, I know you guys were partying this weekend. Do you know how much money you lost doing that? You really should be investing that money. That was awesome. Like, she just owned who she was and just spoke to that. And you're getting hot. You're getting hot again, Zach. We lost you. Guys, I don't know if we're going to be able to get Zach back on. Oh, there you are. So Zach, before we lose you, we're having a great conversation, but I want to tie this up because we could go on forever. I could literally talk about this forever. I don't know. I don't even know if I have to ask this question. We already know what's in store for you for 2020, right? Big things. Oh, I lost audio. All right, guys. So I think I lost Zach. Can you hear me? I can't hear Zach anymore, guys. You know what? I am going to tie this up. Zach, we're going to have to do sign language. All right, guys. Zach, thank you so much. You are going to do great in real estate. And if you have any questions, I actually have some information on the right brokers that I think that might work. Oh, I can see you, but you can't hear me. I do have some ideas of brokers that might work for you. I think a cloud brokerage would be really good for you, and I'll explain to you why. Because you're going to have a huge following, and it's not going to just be in Arizona. Like you said, you're going to have a following from a lot of different places. There are going to be people who want to work with you. There might actually be other agents who want to work with you and join you. You said you didn't want to be a broker, right? You don't have to be a broker. With this EXP model, it basically sets every agent and every broker up so that they can actually choose teams that they want to work with. And kind of why I did it is because I too have a bunch of people. I wanted to work with somebody in Minnesota. I have somebody I love working with in Kentucky and New York. And with my old brokerage model, there was no way I could actually work with all those people and all of us be incentivized in a way to help each other. So that might be something for you to consider. But whatever you do, Zach, I hope that I'm along for that journey because I see exciting things in your future. All right, guys, I'm going to close this up. You take care. Bye.